books along the road, just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all the smiling faces, gathering along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races. We went to bleeding races.
Oh, it's back through Bartes!
1862 on a summer's afternoon, we took the bus from Bambras and she was heavy laden. Where we went along Collingwood Street, that's on the road to Bladen. Whoa, me lads, you should have seen us gunning, passing the folks along the road just as they were standing. All the lads and lasses there, all with smiling faces, gammon along the Scotswood Road to see the bleeding races.
Yes, people, welcome back to the video. John Sinclair TV back again on Saturday afternoon at 5 o'clock. And I've got Maisy with us. Good evening, Maisy.
Good evening, John. Thank you for having me on today.
Fantastic. Thank you for coming on as well. And guys, if you like the video, like what you see, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button as well. Like, subscribe, you know the drill. And if you'd like to become a member, the links are out there as well. Just click on that, 99p. And if you'd like to do a super chat, it's open as well, and just give what the channel is worth as well. So yes, a live match preview between Newcastle and Man United at St James's Park. It's a battle for getting Champions League, really. United in third, Newcastle in fifth. It's going to be a cracking game, St James's Park. We need both teams there to actually fight for the top four, and we could both get there. I think Man U would do it. I think for us, we need to get things right so if we start winning games as well. So we go for the comments first of all, because there's quite a few. Thanks for this comments through. And Jules saying, enjoy the show. Thanks so much, Jules. Keep it friendly, you name it. Subscribe, share, it's all free. Really helps the channel. You can join the super chats available. Keep it friendly, enjoy. Thank you, Jules, for that one. Hi to Mike and Mag. Hi to you, mate. It's been some great games to school us today. Leicester getting beat. Well, they lost, by the way, by 2-1 in the bottom three. What a weekend of football so far. Thank you for that one there, Mighty Mag. Big up to Truls as well from Norway. Hi to you. And let's have a look at a couple as well. Hi to Mag and Mag again. Truls in the court as well. And quite a few. All scores going our way a day. That means we have to win tomorrow. No risk, no buts. And it scares me if Howe gives Dummett a new contract. We need the wages of FFP to use on a player that one player. Oh, you know what it is, Truls? We discussed about Paul Dummett later on. I had my say on him last night, and Matt Mag is a waste of squad space, I believe. Yeah, and I haven't spent sure I did the first version. Truls, that's absolutely fine. I trust it either way. And got one for so that one is coming high to every side. Amazing. Big up to Avi, by the way.
Hi, brother.
Top scout, so he is, by the way. And, you, hi, John and Maisy. He's not. He's a great guy. He's always on. He's always got me me champ on it. And the question, why you got a Norwich fan on, John? First of all, she's not a Norwich fan, she's a United fan. So
it's the colours before Norwich actually came out, because Norwich actually came out in the early 1900s, but this colour top was like in the 1800s. So if anything, Norwich copied Newton Heath, let's just say.
Yeah, that's the one. There's your answer, Clarky. And like they had us this morning as well, by the way. Saying that we got to give you the guard of honour when Man U come out as well, because you won the Carling Cup.
I
nearly fell for that.
I seen the joke. I was literally like looking at it first because it was so early in the morning, because I seen a load of different things like the Glazers aren't selling up, or Glazers agreed with Elliott, who's invested into Man United, and one of them was like, and then by the time I got to see the Man United women's squad, I'm like, is this an April Fool's Day joke as well? Because there were players who don't usually start on there. I was like, oh, is this one of April Fool's too?
Yeah, no question about that, right? We're not going to give you a guard of honour at St James's Park. That would never, ever happen.
No,
if anything,
it wouldn't happen.
When we win a title, I hope you give us a guard of honour as well.
Only if you played the next game against us. That'd only happen then. But
Exactly.
nothing beats that guard of honour like we did, like Arsenal gave to Man United in 2013 with Van Persie.
Oh no!
Nothing beats that one.
Oh man, if you're an Arsenal fan, that's embarrassing, man. Wow.
I remember, like, I don't know if you've seen
Yeah,
it, but this Arsenal fan wrote about like they spanked us in that 3-2 game away. So I said, if that's a spanking, what's this? And one of them was like the 8-2 win, a bit of what we done, and like loads of Arsenal fans was getting really rattled at me, and then one of them said, "We're top of. Do you remember this?" And it was like I can't remember what it wasn't. Remember when we beat the league at your place? And I posted the picture of Van Persie with the guard of honour. Do you remember this also? And
yeah.
he got very rattled.
Yeah. Oh wow!
I'll have to send you the post.
You do that, Macy. You do that. Now we're looking forward to that as well. Big up to United Spurs in America. Big up to you, mates, and hi to you. Hope you're okay. You need a manager ASAP. And Coffee's got this prediction for the Brighton Brentford score.
Cracking game.
And I've got Gareth. Hi to Gareth. Hope you're having a good Saturday. We are indeed. I've got Rabbi B as well. I've got Humble Little You. Got absolutely slaughtered, Rabbi. Absolutely. Thanks for that anyway. I appreciate that. And big up to AD. Hi to you.
Hey, AD.
And I had Coffee. I didn't see it at all yesterday. I didn't see it at all. But he likes us really, by the way. He does like us, sort of thing. Like, I mean, look, I love Paul Timothy, by the way. I do. I like him, you know what I mean? But you know, but I didn't see any of the Newcastle channels last night at all whatsoever. So I'm guessing the both. What will you guys do differently since you last played?
That was the Carabao Cup final, what we last played. I think in terms of Man United, we've got a few injuries, so we'd have to change things around a bit. But I think if we start the way we did this last time, where we start out fast, that will probably be our best bet. But we don't have a defensive midfielder, but I'm sure with yourself, you'd have a few changes from that Carabao Cup final as well.
Yeah. What we got to do, we got to take our chances just comes and have a go at you. We've got to start fast. We got to start well, and we got to go for it. Do you know what I mean? Like, you know, we won the last 2 games, playing good football, great football, and we just got to take the chance as it comes and just defend. Probably that's what we got to do. But if we can do that and start scoring goals, a couple of goals, we win the game. We go 2-0 up. I think we'll probably see the game through because not many teams come back against us at being 2-0 down, like, you know. But, you know, but we were 3-1 up against Man City. What do I know? Leslie, what time do you call this? 10 past 10. 10 past 5. Big up to Leslie, by the way. Hope you're okay.
Hi, Leslie. Thanks for subscribing yesterday as well, Leslie. Much appreciated.
Appreciate that, Maisy. Thank you for that. And on behalf of that, Maisy, Leslie, so big up to Davey. Hi to you, mate, from Benwell. Hope you're okay, mate. And good to see you, Les. Everyone saying hi. My bad. Clarky, I'll get you next time, mate. I love him, but I got one from Carlos as well. Not Roberto Carlos, but evening to you, by the way. I hope you're okay. And got one from Clarky. And they had me too when I first saw it. I said to him, where do you find this out from? Wow. But there you go. Just buy for these as well. Thank you. So thoughts on how both and so we read that, mate. Thank you for that. Everyone saying hi. And just good evening to Chess, by the way. Hope you came, mate. And just to say hi to the gang as well. No, we're giving the guy honor to Mania. Coffee is April Fools, mate. It's April Fools. And even if they want a title we got to face in future years, we will not be doing that at all whatsoever. Definitely not. So, go through this as well. And Newcastle 5-0, rolling back the clock. I'll tell you what, Dave, I would love that if it ever happened, my guy. That'd be fantastic. And United winning 3-2. Sunday, mate, your boy there goes to score.
Now you know he's being it. Now I know he's mocking it. Like saying, where goes is going to score? Where goes is it hardly? Like, where goes hardly bags? Like, you know that Ravi's mocking it, but you know what, Ravi? You know what? Fair enough. It's fine. Like, you can predict for us if you really want to, because after all, like, I don't think we'll get as humbled as you did today.
Yeah. Wow. And you don't believe him, do you? You don't believe him about saying you're going to win 3-2 bagels.
No, there's no way Weghorst is scoring. Like, literally, there's more chance. I might look out this window. I might see a flying cow. I think that's more likely to happen than Weghorst scoring at St. James's Park.
Oh, he loves you, really. He loves you, mate. He loves you. I'm sure he does. They got to Gary D, by the way. I keep calling Gary D because rhymes. If you're a rapper, Gary D. We got to Gary.
You sound like really cool when you say that. Like you just sound like you could be a rapper saying that.
Oh no. You remember like Hector Bellerin? I'll call him Hecky D. Hector Bellerin, what do I know?
Well, we'll be able to speak about Hector Bellerin next week.
Exactly, absolutely, because he's on loan at Sporting, isn't he? So
yeah,
he's doing well. Big up to Reese, by the way,
hey,
and
Reese.
hope you okay, my guy. Hope things are good with you. Mr. Teeth lost the day. We know who he is. And Pep was shaking Liverpool's hands. Every Liverpool fan by hi to chairs. And right, let's go straight on to the first one. We got a match on between Newcastle and Man U, and it's going to be one of the best games of the season, I believe. Both sides are vying for a top 4 place. It's not guaranteed as yet. So, Maisy, tell us about your season so far. And the Ten Hag.
I think I've said it from I think you probably remember me saying this at the start of the season. It's a bit like an experiment season this season for Ten Hag, just because he's got a lot of players who has come from different eras. We have Sir Alex Ferguson signing still, of Phil Jones and De Gea. We've got Jose Mourinho signings there, of who like Dalot, for instance. And you've got like Louis van Gaal with Anthony Martial, all these signings. So there's loads of different types of signings, and you'd probably agree in terms of Newcastle squad. It's a very because you've got different ones from Benitez and Seabreeze. It's quite unbalanced when you haven't got a team what just benefits the manager. He's got he has had a lot of backing, I would say, in this summer. He's got the players he's needed to be to get backed. So it was just about bringing his new signings in, have a little bit of an experiment. The first 2 games they were very poor. I did say that I said that Brighton's always hard. We haven't been well against Brighton for a bit now. Brentford, it was just embarrassing. But I think but after that, our season started to get a bit better, a lot better, in fact, because Ten Hag he put the law down onto the players. He has, how could I say, he's done well in certain situations, like the Ronaldo situation, because I think it's very hard to drop a big name like Cristiano Ronaldo, who is one of the best players in the world, and all that happened, he's gone. To drop Marcus Rashford for being late to training when he's been our key player this season, I think that really speaks levels as well. There's been other situations as well where he's got to come with players I'm not going to mention. So I think going from Ajax to Man United, he did have a big test, and I think so far he's been absolutely fantastic. There's some losses where I say it's unexcusable, like the Man City 6-3 loss, the 7-0 against Liverpool, and like the Aston Villa loss. They were disgraceful losses since since we started picking up. But I do trust into the manager, and I think especially with what's going on with the ownership, once that's all been resolved, I think we can move forward as a club as well. But I think overall, I would say that based off what I thought at the start of the season, we're overachieving, because I never expected us to win the Carabao Cup by a long shot. I wasn't expecting us to still be in all cup competitions like the FA Cup, because realistically, we shouldn't be really in that FA Cup because Fulham were the better team. We got very lucky because of the red cards. And we're still in the Europa League, which I did predict us to win the Europa. That's the only thing I predicted us to win, and we're still on course to get in the top 4. So I do think that overall, he's overachieving at this moment in time, but he still does have a brilliant squad of who he's got. So it's about settling down some of the contracts, and also as getting rid of some of the deadwood, and just bringing the team more and more forward. So if we finish third or fourth, I'd be extremely happy with that. But if we finish fifth and won the Europa League, I'd be extremely happy with that as well. Overall, I just think that he's been absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, that's a fair summing up as well. I mean, look, at the end of the day, he's come in and Erik ten Hag didn't start well. I'm not going to lie. And when he got beat off Brentford by 4-1, I mean, 4-0, I think he was worried. It got him in the training the very next day, made him cover about 1,500 metres, where you've got to call it like they made him work. And all of a sudden, it turned out. I mean, the players stood up to him. The players absolutely sorted themselves together, and they're just scoring goals and defending properly, sort of thing, if you know what I mean.
The defence has definitely been fixed up. Wan-Bissaka is having the best season at Man United, so is Fred.
Yeah.
I think the appointment of Martinez has been very good. I think he's complemented Varane very well. Bringing in Malacia has brought in that bit of competition for Shaw, and Shaw's looking brilliant as well. I still think there's work to improve upon that. We still need a right back. I'm not overly convinced with Anthony, but overall, I do think he has done a spectacular job. But I think coming in tomorrow's game, it's going to be extremely difficult. And I even said before the season started that I'm actually worried to play against Newcastle, especially when it comes to St. James's Park, because the way Newcastle are playing right now, I think even compared to what we predicted, that Eddie Howe's currently overachieving, because I think we expected Eddie Howe to finish about 6th to 7th place. So even at that moment in time, Eddie Howe's really overachieving. So, but it compared to the start season, but based off your results, you're not overachieving. Do you get what I mean? Like what we predicted at the start.
I know what you mean.
So I do think that you've got a fantastic manager. You've got players who've really improved, like Joe Linton. Bruno's the key in that midfield. I absolutely adore Kieran Trippier as well. Nick Pope is brilliant. I could go on with a few Newcastle players, but I think for me, this is going to be our biggest test until the end of the season, because apart from Newcastle, we've already played Liverpool, we've already played City, we've already played Arsenal. So I'm not worried about Chelsea. I'm not worried about Tottenham. So this is the only game I'm really worried about until May, the end of the season.
Fair enough. I mean, you've got some tough games coming up as well. And so have we. We got to play 7 games this month. It's a lot. It's a lot in a month. And to know what it is, and that's why we need our bench needs to be strengthened. We need a bigger squad next season. We're going to have to, because if we don't, we are going to get stretched. We've only got 2 strikers on the books, really. You know, if Isak gets injured or Callum Wilson gets injured, right, we're going to have Neil up front. Who do you play? Would you play probably Anthony Gordon up front, or probably Miggy up front? Do you know what I mean?
Gordon will probably be better up top, because he has the experience of. Sorry, he has got the experience of playing up top at Everton, so he will probably be your best bet. But could Saint Maximin play up top as a false 9?
Yeah, absolutely. It's going to be interesting. I think Eddie will probably get a call out anyway. Please just likes coming in and hit the subscribe button if you're new. Thank you very much indeed. I missed on Ravi's comments. Makes ever so shameless. And I got him from Jules Regos is on Man U's Wood. He means Chris Wood. He's out for the season anyway.
At least he's gone anyway. To be honest, I don't mind Weghorst. Like he's a nice man. I think we play better with him in the respect that it allows our wingers to go further forward, because Weghorst is a pressing type of striker. He doesn't have his goals on him, but he's got the other things what's very good about him. But he isn't staying beyond the summer anyway. It was just one of them emergency striker kind of things, just because the Glazers didn't want to buy anyone else in January. Ten Hag was really wanting a striker, because Anthony Martial was seeing more of the physiotherapist than he was seeing the pitch. So it was just a matter of getting somebody in between, and he's got a fantastic injury record, Weghorst. So I think it was just a matter of just getting him, and then in the summer offloading back to Burnley, and then probably looking at we're hearing Harry Kane and Osimhen, whatever the two. I'm not bothered which one.
I tell you, I take Osimhen at Newcastle.
I'd take Osimhen as well. I think he's fantastic. But Harry Kane, he's Premier League proven. He's a 20-goal a season striker at the end of the day. So even he was a great addition too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Harry Kane's 30, coming on 30, and Osimhen's only 23, 24. And I think this guy is going to be, he is an elite striker, no question of that. Does Maisy think Eriksen will play? If not, who'd be your midfield? I think he's back fit, but he'll probably be sub.
I think he'll be on the bench, Eriksen, just because he's been out for quite a long time. I don't know if you've seen that tackle on what Andy Carroll done, but that was the injury what Eriksen had. So I reckon he's going to be on the bench. If he is going to be on the bench, something tells me he probably might be back for the Europe game, perhaps, when we play Seville or... Yeah, it's Sevilla. So yeah, I think he could potentially be back for them. But I've heard Sabitsia's injured as well. Casemiro suspended. So it's going to be Scott and Fred. It's going to be Scott and Fred.
Hey, I tell you what, that'll do. I'd take that in the midfield too tomorrow, honestly.
It's making me feel ill. It's genuinely giving me Ole Gunnar Solskjaer manager vibes. Like, don't get me wrong, like I think Ole was very overhated by the Manchester United fan base because he did do well with the team. Like, he got us second place, he got us to a cup final, semi-finals, blah, 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 blah. But that I just can't take Scott and Fred in the midfield. And the thing is, with the Scott and Fred situation, everyone always disliked Fred and thought it was Scott who was doing well. But looking at this season, it's the opposite way around. But I'm just not feeling it. I am not feeling it at all, but under the same breath, I've seen Bruno have his better games when Scott and Fred has played in the pivot. So maybe we could see a potential good game from Bruno in that respect.
Yeah, very interesting, very interesting. But I think our midfield is going to be strong tomorrow. I'd like to see the same midfield three. I'd like to see Joe Linton come in on the left, drop ASM as a sub, so he can just come on the substitute bench to run a boot sort of thing and just tie the back four, your back four away. 32 people watching live. Thank you very much indeed. Please slap the like on as well. And if you're new, please hit the subscribe button. Thank you so much indeed. Excuse me. Hope as well in the chat. We are indeed Reese. And I'll ask you tomorrow. I will. I see Liverpool got rolled over 4-1. Wow.
It's beautiful.
Wow. According to Maisy. Yeah, exactly. Beautiful first as well, by the way. 3-1 to us. Excuse me. I don't think that is kicked the ball this season or last season. I don't understand the renewed the contract. You know what it is, Coffee, right? For me personally, is taking up a squad space, right? For me personally, I don't want cheerleaders at Newcastle United. You know, he's been a great servant, yeah, but I think he needs to be moved on. We're on now phase 2. We'll be on phase 2. Paul can come with us. I like him. He's a great gentleman. When he does play and he's injury-free, he does the job. Not world class, but he does the job. And it's just underrated. For me, unfortunately, the guy's 33 now. For me personally, he needs to be getting games.
He's been at Newcastle a long time, hasn't he? He's been in the academy.
He has. He's been on loan at St. Mirren, and he's been at Newcastle for a long, long time. But at the end of the day, right, I like him, but he needs to, move on for me. We need players like Kimi as well for Napoli, someone like him. And you know what? That Thomas under new contract, that space could have been his. If you get Champions League, that is, do you know what I mean? So if they do keep him, I'll be disappointed as a fan. And I can't even lie. So, and hope we will have for beer, the Toon Bruno to outshine the Mank Bruno. That'd be very interesting.
Well, to be honest, I think overall the Toon Bruno is the better player. I would have it and say that. So, but the thing is I do think the Toon Bruno needs to play further forward, and that's no fault of his own or the fault of the squad. You just need to get a defensive midfielder in and to get the better out of Bruno.
Yeah, absolutely. let's just change I like coffee, and supposed to be, unless it's another one of those April Fool's pranks. Yeah, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing the guard of honor. Definitely. The one person may do a guard of honor is this guy, Paul. You know exactly how United is. Paul, it's Newcastle United, not United. Okay, has done this season. I watch him every week. Well, Maisy, she's the big Man U fan. Take it. What do you want to say about that to Paul? Take it away. He's a good guy.
He is a nice guy to review. I see some of his posts on Twitter. I completely agree with the majority of them as well. What he says.
And he's brilliant, great guy. Like you computer, Leslie and I have coffee. What Man U fans seem to forget is that we did not have Bruno or Pope, and they are vital as many as our players are. Do you know what it is? Like, two of those players have been fantastic this season. I mean, I like Nick, but he needs to be careful when play the ball out properly and make sure the distribution is better. Do you know what I mean? Because hasn't been the best. I like him, great shot stopper, but for me, he needs to concentrate. Don't take heavy touches as well, because that one against Wolves is absolutely.
Do you know the thing is what lets down Nick Pope? Like, I agree, he's so great with his distribution, but I just think at times, I mean, he's shot stopping, but at times his distribution has let him down with his feet. And like when he makes them hasty decisions, I think that's the only thing that lets down Nick Pope. And but I do think that he is really underrated. He is really underrated. Like, I think he didn't get the credit he deserved at Burnley.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he's so highly thought of Burnley, and we like him as well at Newcastle. And you know what it is. So if he just gets his distribution right, then it'd be a cracking keeper. For me, I said on your show last week, the keeper I would love to get is Diogo Costa from Porto. That guy, he is destined for the very top. He's going all the way, that lad. I'm telling you, 75 million valuation as a release clause as well. And we said it's too much to pay that much.
It's far too much for me. Because obviously we've been hearing about Man United wanting new goalkeepers. The goalkeepers I'd take would be Sanchez from Brighton and David Raya. They're the two goalkeepers I really rate, and especially knowing that Sanchez is getting out of the Brighton squad now, I think that could be an option where Brighton would potentially sell him a little bit more cheaper.
Yeah, that's fair enough. I mean, great keepers there. Sanchez is class.
Yes.
He let him 3 goals today, but excuse me, you can't
judge
was
he playing today, Sanchez? Sanchez playing today?
Yeah, for Brighton in goal.
Oh, I thought it might. I know there's been some games where he's dropped, so I didn't know.
Yeah.
No, he's not been played today. It was Steele who played for Brighton.
Oh yeah, Steele. But Sanchez does. So when he plays, he's a cracking keeper. He really is. Good of his feet as well. Fantastic. The big test we've faced so far, we have passed them. This is another. Will be good either way. That's a recent Man U fan. The cup final, we have more winners in our team. To be fair to us, that's also a big factor. That's in these 10 intros as well. I love you, Maisy, but we want the 3 points.
So do we.
Yay! Are you going to cheer for Newcastle, Maisy?
No,
not for you.
Well, not when it comes to when we play against each other. That's anyway. Yeah. No, that'll be the day. That'll be the time I can't back you, John. I'm afraid.
I'm sorry. Win, lose or draw, everyone loves everyone. We'll be mates at the end of the show. And big up to Alan T, by the way. John and Guess and Maisy. Guess the results could not have went better for us today. That's a fantastic comment, Alan, because you know what? Liverpool lost. Fulham lost. Brentford and Brighton drew. Let's be real. This is our day. We've got to do it. We've got to do it. So, subscribe as well. Everyone's saying hi to people. And Ten Hag looks like Dr. Evil. 1 billion favourable for our decisions. You know what it is with Ten Hag, right? This guy, I'm going to read out what he said about Newcastle yesterday, Maisy. I'll get your comments on that as well. He said on Newcastle, they're a team that's hard to beat. They delay. That is what the referees don't want. Tempo of the game is the aim of the Premier League, and do and act what the policy is. Yeah? My opinion, Eric, look at your own players first, right? Some of your players, like Bruno, you touch him, he falls down like he's being shot. Yeah? 1 or 2 players go down cheating, right? So, Eric, let's be real, right? Look who your players first before you have a go at us. Take it away, mate.
I think he was just doing it more for reaction, to be honest, because he's done it about a few teams this season. He hasn't just done it about Man United. He's also done it at other games like Crystal Palace and Liverpool. So I think it's just that he just likes to get a bit of fire into the belly. It's not that probably that I think he probably does respect Diao and the team, but I just think he wants that bit of a reaction. He hasn't just done it with Newcastle. He said things about other clubs as well.
Yeah, fair enough. And
I think and the thing is, what I would always say is different between Eric and Klopp is that he does it before a game. Ten Hag, and I think it's just more to wind him up. Whereas with Klopp, he does it after a game. But if, for instance, we play crap, Ten Hag will happily say we were rubbish. Because he literally did come out and say, even when we won 3-0 and we scored the goal, I think we was 1-0 up and then we scored the 2 in the second half. First half rubbish. So I just think he's one of them. He is honest, and if he thinks we play crap, he'll openly say we're crap.
Exactly. So will Eddie Howe as well, for that matters as well. So we go on the next one. Far has gone against us this season, so as we as well. I mean, that goal against Palace at home, that should have stood, honestly, seriously. But yeah, I see what you mean there.
I think the thing is with VAR, it has benefited and not benefited a lot of teams. I just think overall it's just very inconsistent. In terms of every single club, because we know that there has been times where Newcastle's been robbed. There's been times where Man United's been robbed. Sometimes where Brighton's been robbed. There's been a occasion where Chelsea got robbed as well. So I think it's literally happened to every single club. But it's just the fact that the VAR and the referees are just very inconsistent. They're just really, really shocking, and that's why when I was on Tony's channel. And I've said it to you as well that we need to have we have international players, so why don't we have international refs?
Exactly. I mean, football is a global world, global sport, right? Globally, we should have globally refs coming to the Premier League as well. We had an Australian guy refereed our game against Man City, and also he refereed against us against Watford a couple of years ago. But it should happen. It should. And
the thing is, you never hear the inconsistency in Germany or Italy. And even though, like, the thing is with, I watch a lot of the Portuguese league, and you know that you hear, like, the silly yellow cards, and it's like a stop-start constantly. At least it's consistent. At least if that's a silly foul, they'll still give that one as a silly foul, or that's a little yellow card, but they'll give this one as a yellow card. It's still consistency, even if I don't agree with it. The only one apart from England where we hear inconsistency is the odd time in La Liga. That's the only other place I hear it. I don't hear it anywhere else. So that just shows that it isn't just it isn't refs overall. It's English refs, and it says a lot when you go into the World Cup in Qatar and you only get like one English ref who gets called up, but you get 3 women ref calls up, or you hear like 6 La Liga refs called up, 5 German refs called up, but you hear 1 English ref called up. Why? Because we're crap. Our refs are shocking.
And that tells you everything that you need to know about our referees in this country. And VAR, we can't even get that one right now. Shocking. I certainly hope it's Osimhen, the long-term over a 2-year Harry Kane for Reece. I've got one here for Coffee as well. I heard Gonzalo Ramos be linked to Man U. Why are we linked to these kind of players? Do you know what? For me, I've gone to Devil's comments. So we just had go to national Portuguese clubs. That may be the case. Ramos needs another year before he leaves Benfica. Do you think Reece is right? And do you think Coffee's correct about why we've not been linked to him?
Well, I'm not too sure why it could be. To be honest, maybe it might be you might be scouting other places, because I know you scouted that is he Australian, that young Australian kid, and you signed him. Is he Australian? Or is he from New Zealand? And he's like 18 or 19 or something. Maybe I might be thinking wrong. Maybe.
The Australian
I thought
guy.
you might have signed. Yeah, It's Australian. I think he signed an Australian guy. I don't know, but the thing is I don't know. But you look at Gonzalo Ramos. Nobody is scouting Gonzalo Ramos when Gonzalo Ramos wasn't a name before the World Cup. No one was scouting Enzo Fernandez until the World Cup. It's not the fact like, oh, he's just an unknown gem in a league nobody watches. I think it's the fact that it's gone to the World Cup and everyone's scouting the same player because he scored 3 goals. He's got an hat-trick in the World Cup. Oh, he was in the Argentina team. Or oh, this one, this one, this one, this. You don't really see people really having their own imagination with the scouting. You see, like, for instance, Man City Alvarez. That was a good one because he was actually from River Plate and it was before the World Cup.
Yeah,
but you don't really see it in terms of Man United case or Chelsea case or even Tottenham's case. It's not until the players are either too old or they're worth too much money because of the achievements that they've got.
That's a fair comment there, Maisy. You're absolutely right. I mean, you can't buy players on the basis of the World Cup performance. You've got to buy them before that. You just mentioned Alvarez. Man City bought him before the World Cup. They know what he's out of. There's one player I'd love to see, and he's going to play for Brazil. Either in the Copa America or probably in the World Cup, is fit to rock. He's 18-year-old, plays for Atletico Paranaense. He plays for them. Bruno Guimaraes used to play for them as well, started his career there. This guy, 18 years old, both-feeted, comes deep, takes on players, got lovely skills. This guy's brilliant. And they bought him from Cruzeiro for 3 million quid in the Brazilian league. And this guy, honestly, he's got a release clause of 52 million quid. And they will not sell for a penny less, apparently. So,
wow. That's the thing. No one would ever look in the Brazilian league, though, would they? Like, you don't really see people from the Brazilian league coming to the Premier League. Yeah, I can't even think of one in the last 10 years.
Yeah, totally agree, mate. Absolutely. Big draws back to Marcus Carlos, and this is Tom, right? I like Tom, right? But I hope he's having a go at us. But I'll read it out anyway. How are you, John? Let's have some strength behind the title of your shirt. Reinforces the statement of your shirt. We need to stand up as a team, as a fan. We're Newcastle. We fear no one. Tom, number one, we're not scared of anyone, okay? It's been proved that our season, yeah? We took on Man City, nearly came off. We took on Man U. We could have won a game in the first half, yeah? Stood up to Liverpool, right? We gave them a good game, yeah? Chelsea, we took them on, beat them. Spurs, took them on, beat them. Okay? So, Tom, we love you. Relax. Thank you. The most universal accept the salt is Liverpool losing the football, utter shy football. He does not like Liverpool at all, Danny. He doesn't. There's only one, and he plays in Newcastle. That's Bruno. And just go for it as well before we do the combined 11 as well, which is quite a bit hard. Scott,
that's him. That's the one who I was on about.
Cool. That's the one. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the Australian guy, isn't it? Who I was trying to talk about.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's going to come good. He's a young lad. He's going to come good. And I really do hope that he gets some more games. And I tell you what, as well, he should have gone to the Portuguese league or the Dutch league to toughen himself up, not in the Scottish league. Do you know what I mean? But look, at the end of the day, he's getting games, but not as much. But I think another loan is going to go for him.
You know what, right? I don't even mean to disrespect when I say this, but for developing players, the Scottish League's crap. Like, I know you're a fan of the Scottish League. Reese is a fan of the Scottish League, but do you see young players going on loan to Rangers, Celtic, Hearts, St. Mirren, and actually getting something out of it? Do they become a better player? And I say no, they're not. I think the Championship is good for development. That's one. The Portuguese, as you've already mentioned, is another one. And the reason why I do say the Portuguese one is because you see many players going into the Portuguese league, becoming better players, or players who need to reform their careers. Like, you look at Sarabia, for instance. He's reformed his career and now he's at Wolves. You look at, for instance, Darwin Núñez. He's developed well in Benfica, and now look at the player he is. You look at as well Ramos. He's doing so well, and you're looking at the moment Trincao. he is getting the good development at Sporting. So I just think for me, the Portuguese league is a terrific league. Another league that I think would be a really good league would be Italian league. I think that could be a decent league to get your development on. If you went to, for instance, Roma, I'd get good development off Jose Mourinho. Or
Yeah,
if you
good
went to
shout.
if you went to Atalanta as another one, or
Good shout. Good shout.
Lazio, they would be fantastic teams to develop in.
Yeah, you mentioned there Roma. Jose is a winner, right?
Yeah.
Atalanta and the Gasparini get some games of young, up-and-coming young players. Like, look at Lookman, and Højlund as well. Look at those two. Both fantastic players, man. Yeah. And also Lazio under Sarri ball. You know what I mean? Learn for that. Pass. And Lazio second in the league. Atlanta is 6th. And Roma are 4th in a minute. And let's be real. No, the 4th or 5th, one of the two. But yeah, the 4th. But I tell you what, he will learn from that in Serie A. Technical ability. He'll love Italian football. Get him over there next season, man. I take that all day long. Simple as that. And as for being Viking, I mean, I've been on the streams for nearly 2 years. I'm not going to fall for that, mate. But thanks anyway. I never heard of him. I like the Bundesliga, but that guy, never heard that name in my life.
I don't watch the Bundesliga. I must be honest. It puts me to sleep. It's literally, it's a one league team. Like there is some leagues that I'm interested. Like I quite like watching Portugal. I don't mind watching the odd Scotland game. I'm much more Rangers than any other team. I watch the women's football. I'll watch the odd Italian league, Italian game as well. But I don't watch the Bundesliga. I think that is the only league I will not watch just because I really find it boring. Like it's just a one league team. Like it's like if you Bayern Munich, you're nothing.
Fair enough. Fair comments. Just go. So hi to Tony as well, mate. How are you? Hope you okay?
Hi, Tony.
Hi, Tony. And Bruno Guimaraes is phenomenal, but I'm referring to overall numbers. One thing for definite, when Guimaraes is not in your team, you're in trouble. And yes, I have to kind of agree there because we've got no creativity if he doesn't play. Simple as that. And got one here from Ash. We got to Ash. Costa is in Steven John. He was the number 1 first choice keeper after Newcastle having to take over but Pope for 8 million. Look, end of the day, right? I mean, Diogo Costa is a cracking keeper. And I tell you what, he's just going to get better and better and better. Let's be honest about that one. But even Ash kind of agree with it as well. Big up to Ash. Hope you're okay, mate. And without Casemiro, man, you could be in trouble with Bruno, Willock, and Sean at the moment. And that's an Ash. And let's go on to Reese again. Ravas, same 11 shots today. Guy doesn't get fears. Costa, Raya, or Maignan, the only goalkeepers I'd take at United. Time for De Gea to be moved on. He's been at the club for a long time, and he still does a good job.
The thing is, De Gea, he is a great servant, and what he's done for us is absolutely incredible. But the only thing that the thing is with De Gea is distribution shocking. It's improved, but it's still very shocking where it does cost us a lot from time to time. And I think it got to the point where people are saying like, oh, let's start Dubravka. And his distribution was even worse today. I was like, ship him back to Newcastle. Ship this guy back to Newcastle.
Wow. Absolutely, man. Oh,
I still think that Carrier should be your number 2. Carrier should be your number 2 over Dubravka because Dubravka, wow, like literally, he should be playing volleyball or something.
He used us. He's made it clear. He said he don't want to play for us because he wants to be a number 1. He goes for Newcastle to Man U, right? Why is he number 2?
He's the number 2 at Man United. I think he played in the pre-season. He played Villa in the Carabao Cup, Burnley in the Carabao Cup, and after that we was like, shit this guy on. Good and proper. Years ago. Like, I think there was one of them where
the season.
he almost created an own goal against Burnley. I'm like, what is this guy doing? Like, I was literally like pulling the hair out, thinking, oh god, I could understand why Newcastle fans don't like him because I couldn't stand him. I was like, I hate this guy.
Oh man, I tell you what, there's a madness. I mean, Eddie was clever, by the way, but nah. Look, to be fair, when he played against Liverpool when Pope got sent off, I think he did all right, to be fair. But too late. And FAF&T delays the game. We don't do it anymore to another close, John. This is the media and other fans ranked because they peed off because we are so good. And Joe Linton's on the wing. And Ten Hag's comments all about working the referees. I have to agree with that there. But we're interchangeable. Willock, yeah. Ten Hag is an honest man. Klopp isn't. And Casemiro is well class. He is indeed. Just needs to sort his cards out. That's an Ash. And Jules Inquisitus, I would say, put in a net as well. What we're going to do, are going to go to the combined 11. Yeah, they're going to pick players on form. And if I could just find it, and you know, just we'll decide. Guys can join in the fun as well. But I'll probably miss most of your comments, but I will get back to your comments later on. So we do the created 11. We've done it before. You know how it works. And I'll go with you, Maisy. Who would your keeper be? It's just going to be your team.
Pope.
Okay, Nick Pope in goal. Let's go on to the right back. Who would you go for your right back?
Trippier.
Even though Van Bissaka had a cracking season so far when he comes on.
For me, right, if every single fullback was fully fit, right, take away all everybody's injuries, Trippier's the second best right back in the league after Reece James.
Yeah, without a doubt.
And this season he's been the best.
Agree, absolutely. Reece James is a class right back. He can play wing back, he can play on the right wing back, he even play in the back three as well. It needs to be, but his best is a wing back going forward. He's got a lovely cross on him as well. By the way, what a player! What a right back he is.
He's absolutely quality. I really like Kieran Trippier because I like fullbacks who could do both, who could defend and go forward, and you don't see that with modern day fullbacks. Like they're all just attack. And Trippier could do both. And I think only him and Reece James can do both. Trent can only attack. Wan-Bissaka can only defend. Dalot can't do both. I think after that, possibly, if he was fully fit, Lamptey could be a shout as a fantastic fullback. But he's too injury prone.
That's the problem. That is the thing. I mean, you got to be fit at every game, be consistent every single week. And I have to agree with you there, Maisy. Yeah, I totally agree there.
Yeah. And in terms of Mighty Mag's question, I wouldn't swap the final. I'd still take the cup over the... If I had to choose, I'd pick the cup over the 3 points.
Yeah, I was going to read that as well. So get me on. There's your answer there. We lost a good 30 points this season due to terrible VR decisions. That's in Clarkey. I tell you, it's not very far off. I've got Billy T as well. I'm going to call him Billy T for now, or BT. Big up to you, Billy. All these other countries have leagues too. None of them would take our refs. So we have naught to do with trade. That's one reason why foreign referees don't work. Maisy, what do I say about that?
I completely agree that no one would take our refs because all our refs are shocking. So, but I just don't know what other way could really work just because we're going to be stuck with the refs either way. Yeah,
fair enough. Let's go on to the combined 11. We've got Trippier at the right back. Who's your left back is going to be?
I'd have to go with Luke Shaw just because I think he has been better this season over Dan Burn.
Not only that, he's a left back. He's a proper left back.
He is a proper left back. And the thing is, I think Dan Burn's doing well to play out position, but I just think he does make that odd mistake from time to time.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a fair comment there. And the thing is with Luke Shaw, right, he gets forward and he can cross the ball as well. And he can actually defend as well. Dan Burn can defend, but going forward is quite limited. But defending, I think he's done a good job defending.
Yeah.
But as a left back, I just don't think he'll be a long-term left back. We need a left back that can actually play the left back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so, I completely agree.
Brilliant. Let's go into our centre backs. Who's going to be your first centre back on
the left? Do the one on the right hand side first. I'm gonna go for is it pronounced Shah?
Fabian Schär?
Yeah, I actually think Fabian Schär. I think for me, he's been Newcastle's unsung hero.
Okay.
Just because you've signed Sven Botman, and I think Sven Botman's done well, but I just think with Fabian Schär I think he's done all. I'd say that he is the one who does all the not a bit more of the horse work compared to the two centre backs. He does the work that goes unnoticed compared to what Sven Botman does.
Yeah. Good call, good call. Like end of the day, I would have picked Botman really, but look, at the end of the day, I mean, Fabian Schär has been outstanding this season, really has. Gary's got a comment about VAR. It's not the problem. I agree with that 100%. It's the people that's being paid to do the job.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Exactly. Totally agree. No question. That's a good comment there, Gary. Thank you. Yeah, Australian. I've got loads of comments there. Just keep coming through, please. We were scouting Ramos before the World Cup. That was Clarky. Yes, we did. And nothing came through it. Ramos plays for a huge club. Benfica. Everyone knows how good he is if you watch Champions League. Yes, watch him plenty of times in Champions League. Awesome. Afternoon to Stu, my guy. Hope you're okay. And it's Maisy, by the way. Let's go straight on to your next centre back.
I'd have to go for Martinez. Just because I feel like he's transformed that back line. He's made a good relationship with Varane. I think that it is very quick, very aggressive, and I don't think we've really had an aggressive centre back since Vidic. So, is an absolute great addition to have. So, I really like Martinez, and I think, as I say, I think he's done well, and he's done well in the back line for us.
Cool, fair shout. And let's go into our midfield.
So, if obviously Casemiro was able to play, I would pick Cass in a heartbeat. But in the middle, which one? In the middle, I'd have to go for Bruno Guimaraes.
We got Bruno in the middle. He knows exactly what he needs. Guimaraes, okay, as a holding, that's fine.
He would be the holding one. I think he's absolutely fantastic. You know what? There's nothing bad you could say about Bruno. Let's just be real. The one I would also put on the right, Bruno Fernandes, because I do think, even though he is very hated, I can understand why he is hated, but I do think without Man United, it is a lot worse team. If he's not in that squad, it is a worse situation because he's one of the, how could I say, he's one of the only proper creative players. Like, you got Rashford who bangs the goals, and you see Anthony gets the odd goal, but you see Bruno Fernandes, he's the one who creates everything. He's got I think for club and country, he's got 32 goals and assists this season. That's a high amount of numbers. And that just shows how crucial it is for both club and country.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, when he's on it, when he plays well, he's fantastic. But when he goes around cheating and play acting,
I don't agree with that. I've always said that. He needs to get rid of the diving. He needs to get rid of the whining. He needs to get rid of the moaning. But if you took that away from him, he is a fantastic player. And that's something I just think I could tolerate the moaning and the diving, even though it annoys me. I could tolerate it because if he wasn't there, we'd be in a lot worse situation. That's how I look at it.
Yeah, fair enough. Fair comment. And just I see what you mean there, Maisy. And let's go on to the central midfield. We've got one more for us.
I'd have to go for Joe Linton.
Joe Linton.
Because he has played a lot better on the midfield than he has the wing.
Yeah, absolutely. Before we go into the strikers, though, go through some comments as well. Yeah. Flying flat. Fit to Rock was linked to United as well, but Barca bound guaranteed. He's got a great potential. Yes, indeed. So it looks like he could be off to Barcelona if he is going to leave. I hope all SE plays Isak. Yeah, I got it in the end, Gareth. What's that? Play Isak. Brazilian League is so easy to win teams. Just look at Vini Jr. and Neymar. Ekiteke is French, by the way. So as well. And so Premier League clubs only read about Brazilian players once they've been blooded on the continent. Then we pounce. For me personally, if you get a Brazilian player, it's best to get a Brazilian player when they're young, not when they're mid-20s, because it's going to be difficult for them. If you get them young, like Benfica and Porto does, they all go to the Portuguese league, and then we go and pounce on them, which is easier. So that's why I'll look at it as well. So Tim Vickery is the expert on Brazilian South American football as well. And Villa in front, by the way, Ollie Watkins scored 1-0 to Villa. Plus a lot of chats about MRPs in friendly.
Ooh, 1-0 to Villa.
Yeah.
I wonder if Douglas Luiz has assisted. He's a very beautiful man, Douglas Luiz. Like, I remember when I met him, when I went to the Villa women's game, he was like, "Oh, hello." Like, you look pretty ugly on your pictures, but in real life, you're pretty good looking. So I've got a picture with Douglas Luiz. I'm going to see if I can try and find it as well, because I'm like, oh,
bless.
I'll try and find it while you're going through the comments.
Yes, please. I'll go for the comments then. We go to the front. Isak was starting to play 144 minutes of international football, helps us match fitness. That's a good shout. Very good shout there, Tony. You get a visa next year. That's Cruel, by the way. Yes, he will. Yeah, but first team football is huge experience visa. So it depends where you go, but you need to play a certain amount of games before he gets a visa. But things will work. I hope Wadi plays Isak at the top tomorrow and does not go back to Callum Wilson. Yeah, I have to agree there, Gary, 110%. I'm cool at our hearts, so you can strengthen and glamorize Newcastle close contact and happy with Constantinos as well. Only if you play for Celtic, by the way. I scored a crucial goal against Argentina in the World Cup, but I think Martinez made a crucial save. Yes, he did. I can remember that. How he's in Scotland because Hearts wanted him. Our league isn't the best for defending players, but a season 2 is fine to get toughness. As Vince posted, Isak don't start. Don't panic, Jules. He will start. He will start. And Isak will start. And could want to go to Scotland, but it was also stated that being in Scotland, you have plenty of Australian national players there too. Sancho went abroad and developed and has become home and been crap. That's in JJ. So up to that's great player for development. Sassuolo, Torino, that's another team as well. For youth, Milan has gone down the young approach and has benefited as well. That's a flipping good shout, Devils. Brilliant shout there, by the way. England, Scotland, both left the European Union together. He didn't need a visa after he played some international games. That's in Clarkey. And there's a few Aussie players at Hearts, so I think that's why he said yes to go there.
I found the picture.
Go on, let's show it. Wow, we got Maisy.
I was literally so happy when I seen him. Like, he does look a lot better, doesn't he, on that picture compared to what he does on when you see pictures from the Premier League. I was like, all right, because he used to date the Villa women's player. She called Alicia Lehman, but they broke up now, so I don't think I'll ever see him again.
Oh, bless you. Oh, bless you. And I say, look, listen, at the end of the day, you know, you're famous now, mate. You're famous. So, bless you. Let's go to the front three, yeah? We're going to go for the right-hand side of midfield.
Based off form, I'd have to go for Joe Willock.
Joe Willock.
Yeah. Do you remember when you used to call him Joe Pillock?
I did, didn't I?
Yeah.
because I'll be honest with you, he wasn't that good. He wasn't that good in the full season. I can't really lie. So Joe Willock can actually play as attacking midfielder. So yeah, why not? Okay. And on the left hand side,
Rashford.
Rashaz. And up front, that's a tricky one.
Isak.
Big Alex. Big Alex.
Alexander Isak.
Big Isak. There you go. That is our combined 11. So Mace's pick is Pope in goal, and the back four will be Trippier, Cher, Martinez, and Shaw. The midfield three will be Jordan, Guimaraes, and Fernandes. And Up front, it'll be Rashaz, Willock, and up front, Isak. So,
is there
tell us
anything
what you
you
think.
change?
Wouldn't have played Willock on the right hand side. I would have played him in midfield.
He's played more further forward though, hasn't he?
Yeah, he has. He comes back and helps out though and try and get the ball as well. But I wouldn't play Willock. This is my opinion. I wouldn't play Willock on the right hand side. I wouldn't pick Anthony because he's been inconsistent for us. Yeah, I would have played Amir on there. Rashford, you got right.
I just think the thing is with Almiron, he hasn't played well for quite a bit now. So it is either going to be Willock or Anthony, and I don't think Anthony's played very well.
Yeah, that's a fair shout there. So the thing is, though, it's all about opinions at the end of the day, which is great. But at this moment in time, that doesn't look a bad team at all, by the way, for me. I mean, I probably would have played Botman.
Is it Murphy who plays in that position? But I thought it was Willock who played in the right.
Yeah, no. Willock plays
Jacob
midfield.
Oh, it's Jacob Murphy, isn't it?
Yeah, Jacob Murphy plays on the right.
Yeah, change it to Jacob Murphy. Because Jacob Murphy.
Yeah,
because I got it. I changed it. I thought it was Willock who played there for some reason. I had Willock in my mind, but it's Jacob Murphy. Change it to Murphy.
There you go. Substitution. Yeah. Willock off, Murphy in. And you know who's going to be happy for that? I like Coffee's going to be so proud of that as well.
I know, because he calls him Murphinho.
Murphinho. Oh, man. I love it. And plays volleyball. Kit Tempute. Otter Shaikib. And Tavi. Remember him? Where that ball went through slipped through his arms back in 98? Oh, dearie me. I just John and Maisy think the game will go tomorrow. We're going to talk about it in a bit, Coffee. So for me, we have to start well. We have to push up as well. We got to take it on as well. And yeah, so we just got to start fast. And if we do that, then we get goals and probably win the game. So yeah, we'll definitely sell him. Yeah. Watkins chip over the goalkeeper. Yeah, looks a good goal. And let's have a look. Paul's comments. This is a massive week ahead of us, mate. And if you can take at least 7 points and leave us in a fantastic position, golden position. Absolutely right, Paul. That's a fantastic comment there, Maisy. 7 points, right? And then we'll be okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. The thing is, I don't know if you agree with me when I say this, but this Premier League season is so crap. Like, I'm more fussed about the relegation than I am who wins the title. Like, I just think, like, there's been no consistency from, if you want me to be honest, not any team apart from Arsenal. They haven't picked up consistency. And it just says a lot when from 12th place to last, you can literally get relegated.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Totally agree there. And, God, what's all these comments, man? Yeah, I think it'd be alright, like, you know, I think it'd be good.
Mm-hmm.
And then so this one, say hi to Billy. And hey, I'm very disappointed. Yeah, about your scoreline today, really. Sorry about that bottom three as well, mate, which is not good at all. So they could be in spot of bother Leicester. They could be in big trouble. And Terry Wash's non-league club lost 2-1. And hope we had a good time, mate. And next time, Leicester in the relegation zone. Hi, Jules, how are you, Matt? And everyone saying hi to other people as well. Botman's better than Cher, and Cher's been great. So, yeah, the thing is, right, as well, I mean, Marcus Rashford, I mean, people say he's going to be out injured, this and that.
He isn't injured.
He's not injured. Then again, people fall for it as well. Again, because say he went to New York, he's got like an operation or something like that.
He picked up a slight injury before the international break, so he ruled out the international. But then Ten Hag confirmed in the press conference that he's fully fit, and Martial could be back.
Yeah, absolutely. Martial, you like Martial, don't you?
No.
You don't? I thought you liked him last night.
The thing is, right, the guy's so inconsistent. He's literally been in the physiotherapy room more than he's been on the pitch. Like, It's just ridiculous. I bet you if he comes on for 10 minutes, right, against Hughes, he'll be injured again until the end of the season. It's just literally so inconsistent, and you can't have a player like that.
No, definitely not. You got to come and play for the full 90 minutes and put yourself about. And if you don't put yourself about, you deserve to get dropped. I mean, Martial's been in the club for what, 7, 8 seasons now? And has he really improved?
Yeah, he's been at Manchester United for 8 years now, Anthony Martial. And the thing is with Anthony Martial, he was signed as a teenager. I think he was signed about 19. So, and I think a lot of people had high ambitions of Anthony Martial. And it said a lot when, in his clause, we had to pay Monaco a certain amount if he won Ballon d'Or. That's how much like ambition both Monaco and Manchester United had with the guy. And he's been nothing but a flop. And if I was Man United, I'd be selling him because he's nowhere near good enough. And I personally, it doesn't matter. Even if he was playing, he's a lazy player as it is. He's very lazy. And you just can't have a player who's just going to be injured all the time. You need available players to be competing in the league.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, he should be shining. When he scored that first goal against Liverpool, right? That first game against Liverpool, when he turned this fullback into defensive inside out, and he scored for that, everyone's going to say, this guy's going to be a superstar for you lot. You know what I mean? And then since then, it just hasn't happened for him. Wow. And no one's beautiful from Fabulous Fabian MUFCMais.
I'd have to agree, Leslie. The only one who's more beautiful for a shaft, you know what? I'll say he's a beautiful man just for you, Leslie. But it has to be Valverde from Real Madrid. He is a beautiful man. A very, very beautiful man.
Yeah. Wow. Bless you. Bless you. I'm not even going to argue with you. I was going to say, our John meant Endrick, not Ekateke. Sorry, Endrick. Yeah, he's gone to Real Madrid. 60 million quid. 16-year-old kid. Wow. Big up. Really, I hope so. If Top don't sack Rodgers by tomorrow, they need to get sacked, and Rodgers needs to be sacked as well. That's when Jez. And a question for your coffee as well. Question of me, see what's going on about Sancho? Is distracted about off the pitch events? Is it an injury, or does he fit in Ten Hag's plans in the future?
The thing what's going on with Sancho is last year he had a bereavement, his brother passed away, and then recently he's had a lot of mental health problems this season. So what Ten Hag has done, he started very well in terms of the season. He got a few goals, but I think his mental health just started to deteriorate more and more. So Ten Hag sent him to the Netherlands for 3 months, saying, "Right, we need you to get your head into place to where you're feeling a lot better." He put him in private training with his friends from the Netherlands just until he started feeling a lot better. So he's come back. I think he came back 2 months ago, and I think the thing is what Ten Hag is doing is he's in him very gently, and I think that's probably the best thing to do with Sancho, just because it is more of a private situation more than it's that he's not good or it's that injuries, because he actually hasn't picked up any injuries from Man United from what I can think of off the top of my head. So it's just more the personal reasons of what's going on with Jadon outside of the pitch, and he just needs a lot of support. Sancho has had massive praises for Ten Hag for how he's dealt with him, and you can tell that both manager and player are really fond of each other, really like each other. So I think right now it's just about getting Sancho to the best way we can bring him. We've seen that Rashford is been fantastic under Benny McCarthy's training, so get that with Sancho as well. Next season we're hoping for a lot more better for Jadon too.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I hope he gets back to his best, because I do like him. It's just personal reasons as well. But at the end of the day, it's just crazy, man, absolutely crazy. I hope he comes back to for your sake as well. Moutinho, there you go, Moutinho as well. There you go. And Almiron's out injured as well, and Almiron has played well. What do people watch? Yeah, he had a good season. He's gone back to the old slightly miggy, but he's come back to his best. He will come back to his best when he plays. And we're placed on the left-hand side. We'll go through his commentary for you. And oh, by the way, Biddy loves your combined.
I thought he might do.
I mean, there you go. He does it in our favour. So I don't know if he agree with that. He'd be happy with that. And you know, squad depth is poor when Murphy does in the combine. But the thing is, Coffee, you like him though.
Well, I do understand where he's coming from though, because what I mean is about Almiron is that compared to what he was in October, he just doesn't seem like the same player. Anthony, I'm not a fan of him either, so it had to be Jacob Murphy, hasn't it? I'll call him Murphinho just for I like coffee.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to say Todd as well. Todd Bowie. Chelsea's losing. I hope it stays that way. I want Chelsea to
in the mud. Chelsea in the mud.
In the mud. In the mud. Well, yeah. Let's have a look at this. Well, good in the hood. Good in the hood. I like that. I like good in hoodies. And let's have a look at Nottingham Forest Wolves and the ones each. Steve Cooper's on the big pressure.
The thing is, though, I think from what I've read was 85% of their points are actually from home, Nottingham Forest. So he has been doing well at home, but it's very hard to be a great team when you've got too many players who are brand new.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. Cool. What about Gareth's comments as well? Tomine being linked to Newcastle. You'd be happy with that, wouldn't you?
Take him. Genuinely take him. I beg. Take him. Take him.
Oh man. You take him. So how much would you take for him then? I mean, apparently a lot of people said it's 25 million quid.
I read it was 30 that he's looking at going for 30. That's daylight robbery. Yeah, he's not even worth 5. So we're making a profit. To be fair, whatever we make,
he'd probably fleece us.
Yeah. Who knows? But the thing is, with Scott McTominay, is whatever we make on him is a profit because he's come from our academy anyway.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, I would not have Tomine at Newcastle. I mean, he's a good player, but I wouldn't have. He needs to be better than that. I'm talking about Andy Corney's, Edson Alvarez as well. You know what I mean? And
the only thing that benefits Scott McTominay for Newcastle is the fact that he's got Champions League, he's got Europe experience, and he's won trophies. That's the only thing that benefits Newcastle, and maybe some of the squad depth. Apart from that, I don't think he benefits any Premier League club.
Yeah, hang on 2 seconds on that one. I just have a bit of problems here at the minute. I'm listening. So yeah, so what we do, right? Covering most things like the preview of day. So I was going to say, what do you think the scoreline is going to be tomorrow's game at St James's Park? And you're third in a minute, and you're looking to beat us tomorrow, I bet.
Well, I would love to have 3 points. I really would, but the problem is that I just don't think we will get into 3 points. I reckon for me that we'll probably come out with a draw. I'd go for a 1-1 draw, and I'd be happy with a draw at St James's Park, just because there hasn't been many teams that's been able to get points from your ground. So I'd be happy with the point. I'd be happy with the 1-1 draw, just because I know how much you can damage a team. Yeah.
I mean, for us as well, I think I take a draw, but I think we need to win this game. We're at home. We've got to do bits tomorrow. This is our opportunity now because it's not gone first today. And to an extent, you're in as well. And whoever wins this game tomorrow, I think they take one step further to the Champions League. Spurs got to play on Monday night against Everton. That'd be a tough game. And it's gonna be some game. So. And before we wrap up as well, Maisy, we're going to wrap up there. Just go for a few more comments. Chelsea's goal has been cancelled out. And Jill said, tomorrow. So, Maisy 2-0. She does love you, but everyone loves Maisy, by the way. And we got one here for this combined 11. Who would you have as your manager? Howe or Ten Hag?
Ten Hag.
Oh,
Ten Hag. Ten Hag. Ten Hag.
Ten Hag.
But I know that would be quite difficult to say, but I just have to go with Ten Hag. He's literally like, he's a beautiful man, isn't he? He is a beautiful man. So.
Oh man, you love him, don't you, mate? You
yeah,
love him,
I love Ten Hag. Like I'd happily wait for Ten Hag for the rest of my life. If I, like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm one of them.
Well, Maisy loves Ten Hag, people. Yes,
I love Ten Hag.
McTominay is a bang average in any other position except for mid, further up the field so he can attack. He's not his eye.
I'm sick of hearing about Scott McTominay. I'm sick of hearing it. I'm sick of getting asked the same question. Is Scott McTominay a Will Beater? I'm sick of hearing it. Honestly, it's literally ringing into my ears now. It angers me hearing it.
Oh, bless you. I mean, Scott to Newcastle on the summer by the looks of it. I'm dreading it.
I'm buzzing for it. I'll be like,
hey, take it. I tell you how's they bust it every day of the week. Hey, and on that note, we're gonna wrap up there because we're not gonna do 2 hours, unfortunately. And Maisy, can you just give us the socials, please, where you can find us on your channel? Your wonderful channel, by the way.
Thank you so much for having me, John. My YouTube channel's Devils United. Manchester United content on there, tiny bits of sporting content. Got men and women's football on there as well. Just been trying to do all the watch-alongs for the women's games and trying to get all my shows back together. So you can check that out on there. My Twitter's at 2_Mays1012. Thank you for having me, John. Really appreciate it. It's been a good chat.
Thank you very much indeed. Top chat today was 40 people. I think it's 40 people watching it live. Top chat, and there's still 29 watching as well. And got one from by John and Maisy. Thank you, Leslie, and say TC Billy as well. So I've got a few coming as well. There you go. And I've got your links in the description as well from your YouTube, your Twitch, or Twitch and your social media as well. And Jen from Cyprus, you're a bit late, but hi to you, by the way. And this is by I Like Coffee, Jules as well. And we're going to do the watch along tomorrow. And I'll be on live at 3:30, so I'll be on for that. We're going to do the build up. We're going to do the team build up as well, players to watch, and what the manager's going to have to say before the game. So it's going to be a cracking show. So I'll be doing a watch along tomorrow. So please join us for that. And guys, thank you very much for watching as well. It's been a good blast. And like I said, if you leave, who's going to win tomorrow between Newcastle and Man United, leave your comments in the comments section down below. And until then, guys, see you guys tomorrow for the watch along. Until then, it is a goodbye.
Bye-bye.